December 24th, 1968. Frank Borman looked out the window of Apollo 8 and for the first time in human history saw Earth rising over the moon. And he wept. He wasn't the only one. Almost every astronaut who sees Earth from space breaks. Not trauma, not fear, something deeper. They come back and quit their careers, start nonprofits, write poetry, spend the rest of their lives trying to describe what words can't capture, because whatever they saw up there, they can't unsee it, and it changes them forever. It's called the overview effect, and it's not just a feeling. It's a neurological collapse of everything you thought you knew about yourself. Why does seeing Earth from 250 miles away break your sense of identity? What happens to your brain when borders disappear and us versus them suddenly makes no sense? And here's the question that should terrify you. If this perspective shift is this powerful, why aren't we all fighting to see the world this way? Today, you're going to understand what the astronauts saw, what it did to their consciousness, and how you can access this shift without ever leaving the ground. Ron Garan looked at Earth and couldn't find a single border, not between countries, not between people, just one living, breathing organism hanging in the void. Mae Jemison, the first black woman in space, described looking at the atmosphere, that thin blue line protecting all life, and being struck by how fragile it was. That's all there is, she thought, between us and nothing. Edgar Mitchell went to the moon and came back different. He'd seen Earth as one fragile system, and suddenly the way humans were treating it, the borders, the wars, the waste, it all felt absurd, unbearable even. He couldn't unsee what he'd seen. He couldn't go back to normal. So what is it about seeing Earth from space that breaks people? Why does distance change everything? Here's what neuroscience tells us. Your sense of self is built on scale and perspective. You see yourself as separate. You're here, everyone else is there. Your problems are big. Their problems are distant. This is how your brain organizes reality. It has to, just to function. But from 250 miles up, that entire framework collapses. There is no here and there. There's just Earth, your country, invisible, your problems, microscopic. The thing you were worried about this morning. It's happening on a spinning rock in the middle of infinite space. And your brain just doesn't know what to do with that. Remember our previous video from last week? We talked about how you're not the voice in your head. You're the awareness observing it. The overview effect is that same shift, but on a cosmic scale. From space, the borders between me and you dissolve. There's just one planet, one species, one shared fate. The ego, your sense of being separate, just evaporates. And here's the thing that breaks people. It's not sad, it's not scary. It's the most profound sense of connection they've ever felt. Chris Hadfield described it as seeing Earth as a tiny, fragile ball of life, suspended in nothing. And instead of feeling small, he felt responsible, protective, like seeing a newborn baby for the first time. You don't feel powerless, you feel called. This is why astronauts come back changed. Not because they saw something scary, because they saw home. So what happens when you come back? You don't fit anymore. The things that used to matter, status, possessions, petty conflicts, they feel hollow, meaningless. You've seen the bigger picture, and you can't shrink your perspective back down. Some astronauts become activists. Ron Garan started a nonprofit focused on global unity. Edgar Mitchell founded an institute studying consciousness. Others become artists, poets, trying desperately to put into words what they saw, what they felt, because they have to. They've been given a gift, a perspective most humans will never have, and they feel compelled to share it. But here's what's profound. You don't actually need to go to space to experience this. The overview effect isn't about location, it's about perspective. And perspective can shift anywhere, anytime. People report similar transformations from near-death experiences, from deep meditation, from standing on a mountaintop and suddenly feeling how small and connected everything is. The astronauts saw Earth from outside, but you're already on Earth, floating through space. Right now, you're on a rock spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, orbiting a star at 67,000 miles per hour, in a galaxy hurtling through space at 1.3 million miles per hour. You're already in the void. You just forgot to look up. So, how do you access this shift? Tonight, pull up footage from the International Space Station. Watch Earth pass beneath in silence. Let yourself feel how small Earth is, how thin the atmosphere, how silent the void. You won't feel what the astronauts felt. Not fully, but you may feel the door crack open. Then go outside, look up at the stars, and here's the shift. You're not standing on a planet, looking up at space. You're floating in space on a rock, looking out at the rest of infinity. That one sentence, from on to in, can rewire how you see everything. Where you are, what you're part of, why any of this even matters. The overview effect isn't locked behind a rocket launch. It's waiting in your backyard. Sometimes you just need a reminder to lift your eyes. This effect teaches us something profound. Perspective is everything. And when you shift how you see, you shift who you are. The astronauts didn't just see Earth differently. They became different. And so can you. You don't need to leave Earth to change how you see it. You just need to remember, you're already floating through the cosmos. And everyone else? They're floating with you. Same rock, same sky, same fragile atmosphere keeping us all alive. The overview effect is waiting. All it takes is a moment of awareness. And then, look up. I hope this shifted your perspective, even if slightly, and if it did, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. What's one thing you'll see differently now? And if you want more reality-bending insights like this, subscribe to Mind Mechanics Studios. We explore the mysteries that make you question everything you thought you knew. Thanks for watching.